Here are 5 moments of brilliance from director Ryan Coogler in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Spoilers, you've been warned. 1. Starting the film right. The start of the film shows us a moment where Shuri, Black Panther's sister, tries to save her brother with the same plant which gave him his powers. She states later how she wasn't trying to save the Black Panther, she was instead trying to save her brother. This introduction serves to set the stage for Shuri's character weakness, that she no longer believes in traditions and believes entirely in technology as the only answer. Behind this are some fabulous emotional questions, such as, if the Black Panther is replaced, will he be forgotten? Number 2. Not taking advantage of Chadwick's death. One of the hardest elements for Ryan Coogler as both director and writer of this epic movie was the death of the original actor Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick's performance as the Black Panther became iconic overnight, and for good reason, and therefore this movie had to tread incredibly carefully. It was tasked with delivering a Marvel movie with its bombastic action and a heartfelt memorial to an iconic actor lost too soon. The biggest danger, therefore, is that it would come over as a cash grab, capitalizing on the memory of an actor rather than respecting it. I am so happy to say that Ryan Coogler absolutely triumphed. I tip my hat, sir. The level of empathy and gravitas Coogler rendered in the story is utterly magnificent. The death of the Black Panther is felt in every scene, but is never treated as melancholic or overly dramatic. Instead, it drives the story and the characters naturally. For instance, the Queen, played by the fabulous Angela Bassett, is tormented by the loss of her son and is thrust into protecting her country in different ways now that their greatest protector is gone. 3. Dealing with grief. Ryan Coogler shepherds Shuri through the entire grief cycle through the film, which is no small task. First is denial. Unable to approach her emotions, she submerges herself in her work, and when faced with thinking about her grief, she talks about burning the world. Shuri chooses to go to war against a superior force, fully knowing the risks and casualties it will incur. When we meet the spirits during her transformation into the Black Panther, she's met with a spirit that embodies her truest desires. Here, she is given the permission to focus her grief on the man who killed her mother. The depression stage comes after her mother is murdered. She is forced to revisit her actions and fundamentally change in order to move forward. Coogler represents her depression here as almost indifference to the dire threat to her entire nation, but he doesn't languish on this stage for too long, as the depression state tends to be quite stagnant and would slow the movie down considerably. Shuri travels to Haiti to be with Lupita's character to finally let go of her grief. Coogler utilizes his plant earlier in the film as the Queen burns some of the Black Panther's funeral attire to help her move forward. Playing with time. A subtle but incredibly evocative technique Coogler uses to great effect early in Wakanda Forever is time manipulation. In one of the early scenes in the film, the Queen is tasked with facing off politically against 2 other political figures who have complained about her nation's behavior in not sharing their resources. As the Queen deftly speaks to the courtroom, we are also treated to a scene where a science facility run by her people is attacked to steal their resources. Coogler intercuts the scenes together, creating a sense that this is happening at the same time. This is simply achieved by playing the Queen's voice under the second scene. The audience then worry that although she is defending her nation politically, they are being secretly attacked. We then get a hair-raisingly epic moment as the facility was a trap and was being defended by her warriors. This scene plays so nicely as it subverts our expectations through a fabulous execution of parallel storytelling and audience psychology. 5. The conflict map. With such an emotionally charged film, you might forgive Coogler if he let the central conflict of the story falter. However, it feels like Coogler doubled down on conflict in this film by pushing every group in the film to extreme ends, which in fact helped to reveal much about the world after the Black Panther has passed. Let's create a conflict map similar to the one I expect Ryan Coogler may have made when designing the film's original narrative. The conflict map consists of Shuri, the Queen, Namor, the Wakandan chiefs, and even M'Baku. That's a lot of points of conflict. So, what conflict ties them all together? On the surface, they all seem to be fighting over Rorie, a young, brilliant scientist whose invention has destabilized the world's power. She acts as the MacGuffin, forcing all of the characters on journeys as they struggle with the real conflict at the heart of all the characters. How can I ensure peace? Shuri tries to get peace by saving the scientist, but becomes the opposite later and inciting war as a way to find inner peace. The Queen fights for peace through political means, tricking her enemies like Namor. Namor can only see how to obtain peace through killing the young scientist and ensuring his people are never found through her invention. The Wakandan chiefs want peace and are happy to let the child die if it will stop all-out war. And M'Baku tries to obtain peace by advising Shuri against her emotional desires. Great conflict is such an underexplored concept, and I go into even more detail in this video here.